The House will come to order. Today, the Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Brandon McMahon, Joan of Arc Learning Center, Arvada, Colorado, and Leela Heskin, Swigert International School, Denver, Colorado, guests of Representative Bradley.
Please join us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Very well done. And then you come back this way. Mr. Schiebel, please call the roll.
Representative Zamabile. Rep. Amabile.
Excused.
Armagost. Bacon. Bird. Bockenfeld. Basenecker. Bottoms. Bradfield. Bradley. Brown. Catlin. Doherty. DeGraff. Degree Kennedy. It's been here. Rep. Degree Kennedy.
Excused.
Dixon. She's here. Duran. English. Epps. Evans. Frizzell. Froelich. Garcia. Gonzalez Gutierrez. Hamrick. Hartsook. Herod. Representative Herod.
Excused.
Holtorf. Judah. Joseph. Kip. Leader. Lindsay. Representative Lindsay.
Excused.
Linstead. Luck. Lukens. Lynch. Mabry. Marshall. Martinez. Morrow. McCormick. McLaughlin is here. Michelson Janae. Ortiz. Parenti. Puglisi. Ricks. Sharbini. Sirota. Snyder. Soper. Rep. Soper. Oh. Story. Representative Story. Taggart. Titone. Saw her earlier. Rep. Titone.
Excused.
Valdez. Velasco. Vigil. Weinberg. Weissman. Wilford. Wilson. Winter. Woodrow. Young. And Madam Speaker.
Here. Members with 61 present, 4 excused. We do have a quorum. Representative Hamrick. More visual aids, Representative Hamrick. Oh.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's a pleasure to serve with you.
And a pleasure to serve with you.
Friends, this is my grandson, James. He loves sharks and trains and people joining together in a common goal. So with that said, Madam Speaker, I move that the Journal of Monday, March 20th, 2023 be approved as corrected by the Chief Clerk.
You have heard the motion, members, that the journal be approved as corrected by the Chief Clerk. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. The motion is adopted. Announcements and introductions. I have one. Representative Joseph will replace Representative Gonzalez Gutierrez in Public and Behavioral Health and Human Services for today only. Representative Weissman.
Thank you and good morning, Madam Speaker. You almost demoted one of our members there.
Demoted is right.
This is an announcement about today's judiciary calendar. At 1:30 in room 112, we are convening to hear three bills: House Bill 1135, House Bill 1026, and then back for action only, House Bill 1159. See you at 1:30.
Thank you. Representative Catlin.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's an honor to serve with you.
And an honor to serve with you.
Thank you. Members, I'd like to talk to you about something special today. I'd like to talk to you about Ag Day. Today is National Ag Day. We're going to celebrate Ag Day in Colorado tomorrow. But this is a day to recognize and celebrate the abundance provided by agriculture. Every year, producers, ag associations, corporations, and universities, and countless others get across America to join together to recognize the contributions of ag. Traditionally, we celebrate it on the 21st of March.
Representative Catlin, I might ask you to move your microphone. We're having some technical
I'm sorry
challenges.
about that.
Thank you, sir.
Hello. I know this, and it's important to me, so I want to make sure that you can hear it. Ag Day is celebrated on the 21st of March every year because it falls during Ag Week. We are going to celebrate Ag tomorrow here in the House of Representatives. The Ag Council of America hosts the campaign on a national level, but the awareness in American communities is influential, and if not more than on the broad scale. Ag in the areas out in rural Colorado, everyone realizes the value of ag to their local economy, to their schools, to their families. But what happens is a lot of times our urban cousins are only aware of what's in the grocery store. So what we want to do is bring an awareness to all of you that agriculture is one of the foundational stones in Colorado. Colorado would not be Colorado if we didn't have ag, and if ag hadn't been with us through the history of the state. You hear a lot of talk from ag people, usually, about the value of agriculture. But what we're trying to do is to get you to realize that we're all holding hands in this. What we produce, you serve at your tables. We want it to be the very best that it can be. We want you to be the most satisfied customers in the country. So please enjoy Ag Day today, and we will have a celebration here in the Capitol building tomorrow. So thank you very much.
Representative Holtorf.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And much to the surprise of this chamber, I'm not going to talk very long. I just want all of us, there you go. The chairwoman of the Ag Committee told me she thinks I'm done, and I need to let her talk. That would throw off the few points that I was going to make. I just want everybody to understand that everything we eat, many things we use, and most things we wear on a daily basis come from an agricultural and rural community. It's really important that we understand National Ag Day, and the Agriculture Council of America encourages all of us, including our young people, to consider the importance of agriculture, because every day at breakfast you celebrate what agriculture produces. So I am happy to be a part of this celebration, and also for young people, let's encourage them to consider a career in agriculture. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative McCormick.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I just wanted to point out that agriculture is actually the rural-urban connection. You're going to hear me talk about the rural-urban connection, and this is a big one right here. And in that spirit, I wanted to announce that our row here of legislators are the Colorado Proud row. And in honor of agriculture this week, and you'll see this logo on many of the products that you can buy in the grocery store, and that's a big deal to really hunt for this logo, search it out, and purchase these products, because in that way you are supporting our very important agricultural industry in our state. And I think we have a couple more people that want to say something, but thank you very much, and remember to look for Colorado Proud logo.
Thank you. Representative Winter.
Good morning, Madam Speaker. My colleague and I, we both represent Pueblo County, and I said that each morning I'd get up here and give you a fact. So according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture's most recent data, Pueblo County is comprised of nearly 900 farms consisting of more than 8,950 acres. 895,000 acres. While many of the farms produce Pueblo's famous green chili, area farmers also grow pumpkins, winter squash, watermelon, cantaloupe, alfalfa, corn, and dried beans. Although it isn't as well known as other Pueblo crops, garlic grows well in the area. Located on 30 irrigated acres, the Hobbs family farm is one of the country's top garlic producers, growing between 9 and 11 varieties of certified organic garlic annually.
Thank you. Representative Martinez.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. So for those that have been in the chamber before, I have a gift for you that you will all remember well. And for those that are new in the chamber, I'm bringing you guys some San Luis Valley Proud potatoes tomorrow. So you'll see those on your desks. Woohoo! It's the bread and butter of the San Luis Valley agriculture economy, and so please enjoy.
Excellent. Thank you, members. I love Ag Week. It's a good time. Representative Kipp.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to invite our Fuerza Latina group from Northern Colorado to the Capitol today, and just wanted to thank them there for being here for our day at the Capitol. If we could recognize them, folks. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Young.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Representative Kipp and I are proud to introduce the Clubhouse groups that have joined us up in the gallery. They represent the Frontier House
and Spirit Crossing up in Fort Collins.
The Clubhouse model is an international model that we're very proud to have in my community. It's very successful at providing evidence-based behavioral health support and finding employment, and it is run by the clients who participate in the Frontier House. So please stand and let's give a round of applause to this essential service.
Representative McLaughlin.
Education Committee, I'm going to clarify that we have a Monday meeting, but it is on April 3rd. Some people said, is that next Monday? No, April 3rd is not next Monday, but it's the one afterwards. So do not show up in Education Committee next Monday at 1:30, but on April 3rd, we'd love to see you there. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Froelich.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Similarly, the Transportation, Housing, and Local Government Committee will not meet today nor tomorrow. Thank you.
Representative Michelson-Jeannet.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Public and Behavioral Health and Human Services, we will not be meeting upon adjournment, but we will be meeting at 1:30 in room 107, where we will be hearing bills 1228, 1200, and 1223. Look forward to seeing you there.
Representative Doherty.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Health and Insurance will be meeting 10 minutes upon adjournment. We have 4 bills. Senate Bill 41, House Bill 1197, House Bill 1136, and Senate Bill 93. Thank you.
Representative Lindsay. And Rep. Snyder. And Rep. Ricks.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Good morning, members. March is Women's History Month, and let me highlight a local woman who contributed greatly to Denver's history, who was instrumental in the creation of National Jewish Health, of Denver's first free kindergarten, and also the United Way. Her name is Frances Weisbart Jacobs, and she founded the United Way right here in Denver, Colorado, 135 years ago. Her work continues through the 1,800 worldwide chapters that make sure families have the resources they need to thrive by giving all children a strong start, supporting education and academic success, and creating economic opportunity for all. Little data point, you will find her stained glass window here in our Capitol Rotunda. She's the only woman out of the 16 pioneers showcase there, so be sure to go check it out. Props to Frances Weisbart Jacobs. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Snyder.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and it is our honor today to have some wonderful folks from United Ways from around the state, specifically here Mile High. So right over here to my right is several people who do the United Way work, and I will please help us in welcoming them to the House.
Representative Snyder.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I know most folks are familiar with United Way, but I can't tell you how important their 211 Navigator service has been. When I was a mayor down in Manitou Springs, I kept a stack of their cards right on my desk. And I can't tell you the number of people that come in, whether they're having trouble getting the food they need, or paying utility bills, or facing eviction. There's a great Navigator service. We've expanded it to statewide, and they have been partners with us all through the pandemic and every crisis Colorado faces. So I really appreciate them.
Thank you. Representative Ricks.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Frances Weisbart Jacobs was one of the founders of Mile High United Way. Her life still lives on in National Jewish Hospital. Even during COVID, United Way has played a very pivotal part in our community, helping to be that lifeline and providing so much needed resources for people who are going through. They also are a collection center for funds that are then redistributed to the community. And so we can't thank them enough for all that they've done. They've been in the community for close to 100 years, and we hope that they'll be here for 100 more years. Thank you for being here.
Assistant Minority Leader Puglisi and Representative Luck.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We have some very special guests here today from all over Colorado who traveled all this way to be with us. They are the Pregnancy Resource Centers, and they help families. They partnered with the state during the COVID pandemic and partnered to make sure that people had resources, families had resources during the COVID pandemic. They also help with prenatal and postnatal care and provide things that families need, such as diapers and formula. And so we're really glad to have them with us today. They'll be downstairs if anyone would like more information. Thank you.
Representative Luck.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. There are 51 pregnancy resource centers throughout the state of Colorado, offering a wide range of services. Some of them are with us in the gallery today. Others are in the Senate gallery. Some of those groups include Life Network from Colorado Springs, Life Choices from Longmont, CareNet, which is a national group based in Colorado Springs, a Caring Pregnancy Resource Center of Northeast Colorado, which is in Brush, Life's Options in Evergreen, Marisol Health and Wellness in Denver, Canyon City Pregnancy Center in Canyon City, Colorado for Life in Colorado Springs, Choose Life Marketing in Colorado Springs, Alternatives in Inglewood, Boulder Pregnancy Resource Center in Boulder, Colorado Springs Pregnancy Center in Colorado Springs, Lighthouse PRC in Gunnison, Resource Center in Greeley, Delta PRC in the Western Slope, a Caring Pregnancy Center in Pueblo, and that's just a small smattering of the groups that serve women, men, children, families all across our state. And so we welcome you here today and thank you for all of your efforts.
Thank you, members. We do have a tribute.
Mr. Schiebel, please read the tribute at length.
Mr. Schiebel, thank you, Representative Parenti. Please read our tribute at length.
The House of Representatives, convened in the 74th General Assembly, hereby celebrates and recognizes Colorado's women in the military. The Colorado House of Representatives honors and celebrates Colorado's women in the military, past, present, and future, as part of Women's History Month 2023. From Colorado's earliest days, women have played a vital role in defending the nation and its values. They have fought and served alongside their counterparts in every conflict since the founding of our great state, from their early roles as battlefield nurses and covert fighters to their modern open acceptance in every combat specialty in the world's most advanced military. They responded to their nation's call with courage and with selfless dedication, and in doing so, not only fought for freedom and democracy, but for recognition that their service and sacrifice deserved equal respect in and out of uniform, advancing the cause of equality across the country. The Colorado House of Representatives celebrates the accomplishments of Colorado's women in the military and veterans community and honors their contributions and sacrifices in service to the state and country. On request of Representatives Jennifer Parenti and Ryan Armagost, given this 21st day of March 2023, State Capitol, Denver.
Representative Parenti.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Colleagues, I had the privilege of connecting with the good people over at History Colorado and the Wings Over the Rockies Museum over the past few days to learn more about some of the amazing Colorado women and their stories from the decades of our nation's history, who've answered their nation's call to arms. Their stories are woven into our history and highlight the courage and resilience under the most difficult circumstances. I'm speaking of the women like Josephine Evans, who joined our expeditionary forces in Europe as a nurse during World War I. Women like Millicent Young, a women's air service pilot, and Oleta Crane, one of the first black women in the country to be commissioned in the U.S. Army, and the thousands of others who joined the Army, Navy, Marines, and Air Corps during World War II, including dozens of Japanese American women from Camp Amachi who had the courage and resilience to believe in a nation that did not believe in them. What struck me the most, though, in hearing their stories was the realization of how much of the history of women in the military is a modern story that is still being written. When I first donned the uniform in 1991, I was a member of just the 15th class of women at the United States Air Force Academy. There are about 90 of us in a class of 1,000. And at that time, we were still not allowed to serve in combat roles, including as fighter pilots, and we were still being discharged and denied pensions and benefits for simply loving someone who looked like us. During my time in the service, a lot would change. We would see the first female fighter pilots, the first naval service warfare officers, the first military woman in space, Colorado's own Lieutenant General Susan Helms, and our first full generation of significant combat losses. But when I retired 23 years later, there were still barriers and prohibitions in place to prevent people like me and other members of my family from serving openly and from serving in any occupation that we were capable of. I'm grateful for the further progress that we have made during that time, while recognizing that we still have a long way to go to achieve full equality. I want to say thank you to the many women who blazed new trails while answering the nation's call. Women like my guest today, Command Chief Master Sergeant Lisa Perry, please stand up. Chief Perry is the highest-ranking enlisted member in the Colorado National Guard. I'd like to ask all my sisters in uniform to please stand up and be recognized if you happen to be in the room. Thank you for your service. Thank you to all of our military women, past, present, and possibly future. I look forward to a time when we have no more firsts. Thank you.
Representative Armagost.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm not a female veteran, as many of you know, but as the veteran representative for our Republican caucus, I wanted to come up and speak about female military members that I've had the pleasure of serving alongside during my 22 years. When I joined the Marine Corps 22 years prior to finishing, back in mid-90s, I was in the Marine Corps Infantry, and it was a completely male-dominated field at the time, to which time I ended a 4-year active duty stint there, came over to the Colorado Army National Guard, where I was in a military police unit, and was immediately serving with my female counterparts in the same field, doing the same exact thing. Ended up being 3 of my 4 deployments, 2 of which were combat deployments, serving alongside female service members, now veterans like myself. So it has been an honor to see that. The evolution that I've seen in that 22 years has been amazing. From, at the time, infantry, a completely male-dominated field, even pilots, mostly male-dominated for longer than I've been in. But to see the evolution, and especially now that females are raising their hand and saying, I can do that too, and it's opening the doors to all of those combat elements, infantry, special forces, rangers, they're all getting female counterparts serving alongside the males and doing the exact same thing. So it's great to see that. And it's my honor, unfortunately, my guest was unable to be here today. She's the homeschool president, homeschool community president in our town of Berthoud, but she's a former Marine pilot, retired Lieutenant Colonel Esther Wingard. She flew the AV-8B Harrier, and for the time that she flew that aircraft, it was designed for a 6-foot-tall male. If she were to fly that and needed to eject, she would be instantly killed. So she was part of the team that redesigned the cockpit on the AV-8B Harrier to historically change every platform and every aircraft of the AV-8B Harrier to fit a 5-foot-tall petite female frame in flying that platform. So unfortunately, she's not able to be here today, but I wanted to recognize her and her incredible service and dedication toward making things work for female service members. So thank you.
Representative Herod.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I just want to acknowledge my mom, who served in the armed forces. My mom was a OBGYN in the Army Nurse Corps, and she brought us to Colorado and was stationed down at Fort Carson. It is my honor to acknowledge her today. She is obviously my shero. She fought during times when Black women were not given the respect they deserved, even in uniform. She chose to be an OBGYN through the armed forces because it was her only way to get access to education, and she wanted to ensure that the many Black women and men and families that were serving in the armed forces had access to reproductive care. And so I am so proud of her work and what she's done. But I don't think we can stand here and acknowledge veterans without acknowledging the work and duty that we have to ensure that they continue to be served. A lot of folks think that this issue is a federal issue, but it is not. It is important for us to think about benefits for those who have served our country, ensuring they have access to care, especially as they age into our elders. My mom right now is in an assisted living facility. I moved her up from Colorado Springs to Arvada, and I will tell you, going through the process to get her the benefits that she deserves as someone who served this country for over 20 years is not dignified for someone who served in that position. And so I ask that we do more every single day to ensure that every single one of our veterans is taken care of in this state and throughout the country. Thank you.
Representative Ortiz.
And I just want to just mention this as well. We have to remember sister service members that have sacrificed to try and advance equity in the services. And I'm speaking specifically to Vanessa Guillen, who was harassed and then murdered, sexually assaulted and then murdered, and her family fought hard to change the law to make sure that when these claims come forward, they're taken out of the responsibility of the chain of command. So they can be fully investigated and bring greater justice and equity within our armed forces. So a big thank you for her sacrifices, unwilling though they may have been, and for her family's tireless work to making sure that they made changes to what existed so we can move our way to greater equity.
Representative Holtorf.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I bring a message to celebrate the advances of women in the military across this great country. I am very happy to have served with women for 29 years. And the story I bring you is about the first female Apache pilot, age 64 Apache pilot. There are so many opportunities for women in this great nation to serve in so many ways. This is a story of victory, and I'm just going to share with you a short story about Jessa McCormick. She says, I never, ever as a kid would have ever thought I'd be an Apache pilot. It's the greatest feeling. The Boeing H-64 Apache is the most advanced multi-role combat helicopter for the U.S. Army and a growing number of international defense forces across the world. This 31-year-old Olive Branch resident, who's a warrant officer and the first female Apache pilot assigned in the Mississippi National Guard, served in the military starting out as the Marine Corps as a military police officer. After her deployments, she left the Marine Corps, very much like the sponsor that sat right here, stood right here, and then woke up and joined the Army because the Army was more hua. Anyway, as we continue her story, she deployed to Afghanistan in 2013, and the urge to fly hit her. And if you've been to Afghanistan, you know you'd rather fly than walk. It's a big country, and the roads are pretty rough. Okay, as she was flying in a Black Hawk helicopter, she looked outside and thought, I kind of want to fly. This was one of those things I haven't tried. I figured it would keep me interested. So I decided to inquire about the pathway to flight school. A few steps later, she found herself getting corrective eye surgery. She went to a flight evaluation board, which I used to host for the Colorado Army National Guard as the Battalion S1 for 2nd of the 135th, selecting our flight members. And your representative gave evidence has had, the privilege of participating as a Guard aviator in the Black Hawk airframe, which is pretty special. Her story continues. She interviewed and she was selected. There was a lot of emphasis because she was the first, as I go down this story, female Apache pilot. She said her gender didn't even cross her mind as a possible obstacle. Being a woman in a man's profession was nothing new to her, having served in the Marine Corps and been in the military police. I'll wrap this up pretty quickly. They said, well, you're going to be a gunslinger, so you'll have to know how to fly the Apache. And she said, I have a warrior spirit and a warrior heart, and I can do that. That's pretty special. That means a lot to me, having raised 5 daughters. To wrap this up, I will tell you her closing words. To other women who aspire to do jobs people traditionally assign to men, and to little girls who might want to fly Apaches someday as well, McCormick says not to let anything hold you back. That's her advice to anyone with a dream, regardless of gender, in this great country, the United States of America. She says, we always talk about women gaining our equality, but we already have it, she said. Never let anyone tell you you can't. Never let anyone tell you you're not strong enough. Fulfill your dreams. If you have a dream, make it reality. My dream was to be a gunslinger, and I continue to live it as a warrant officer in the Mississippi Army National Guard. Thank you.
Members, next order of business is the third reading of bills. Mr. Schiebel, please read the title to House Bill 1224.
House Bill 1224 by Representatives Brown and Judah, also Senator Roberts, concerning changes to the Colorado Standardized Health Benefit Plan Act.
Madam Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move House Bill 1224 on third reading and final passage.
The motion before us is the adoption of House Bill 1224 on third reading, final passage. Mr. Schiebel, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Under the wire, Rep. Hartsook. Please close the machine. With 46 aye, 19 no, 0 excused, House Bill 1224 is adopted. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Schiebel, please read the title of House Bill 1089.
House Bill 1089 by Representative Young, also Senator Zenzinger, concerning the continuation of special education services for a student in foster care when the student moves.
Madam Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move House Bill 1089 on third reading and final passage.
The motion before us is the adoption of House Bill 1089 on third reading, final passage. Mr. Schiebel, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Please close the machine. With 63 aye, 2 no, 0 excused, House Bill 1089 is adopted. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Schiebel, please read the title of Senate Bill 150.
Senate Bill 150 by Senators Roberts and Will, also Representatives Froelich and Frizzell, concerning a requirement that certain persons label disposable wipes.
Madam Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move Senate Bill 150 on third reading and final passage.
The motion before us is the adoption of Senate Bill 150 on third reading, final passage. Mr. Schiebel, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Reps. Doherty, Hemrick. Please close the machine. With 54 aye, 11 noes, 0 excused, Senate Bill 150 is adopted. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Schiebel, please read the title of House Bill 1225.
House Bill 1225 by Representatives Degree, Kennedy, and Dixon, also Senators Hawkins, Lewis, and Buckner, concerning the Prescription Drug Affordability Board and in connection therewith modifying the affordability review process, allowing the board to establish upper payment limits for an unlimited number of prescription drugs, clarifying which board functions are subject to judicial review, authorizing an individual to request an independent external review of a denial of request for benefits for a prescription drug that has been withdrawn from sale or distribution in the state, and extending the repeal date of the board.
I think that deserves a round of applause. Well done, Mr. Schiebel. Madam Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move House Bill 1225 on third reading and final passage.
The motion before us is the adoption of House Bill 1225 on third reading, final passage. Mr. Schiebel, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Representative Brown. Please close the machine. With 45 aye, 20 no, and 0 excused, House Bill 1225 is adopted. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Members, any additional announcements? Representative Garcia. Representative Garcia.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I just wanted to share with everybody that today is World Down Syndrome Day, and I love someone with Down syndrome, so please, if you know somebody or know somebody who knows somebody or you love somebody, make sure you tell them that you love them. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to lay over the balance of the calendar until tomorrow.
Seeing no objection, the balance of the calendar will be laid over until tomorrow. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the House stand in recess until later today.
Seeing no objection, the House will stand in recess until later today.